Laureate Allred. Mimi, you have publicly told this raw and story that has to have been devastating you for years. It took great courage to do this. What has this been like for you?
You mean the time in between or now?
Right now.
Right now. I mean, it took me a long time to actually, I was going back and forth about even coming forward. Even after all these women came forward, I still feel a little bit, you know, I mean, it's still nerve-wracking, and also I'd kind of put it away somewhere in some, I put it away in the back of my head. It wasn't something that I thought about daily at this point, but now it all, you know, had to resurface, and it's difficult. But all of the other women coming forward has really helped.
At the time, on some level, and though it was, you absolutely shouldn't have, did you feel at some point like you had no options? Given the power and influence Harvey Weinstein had, did you feel like there was nowhere for you to go?
Absolutely, yeah. I felt like that there's no way anything good is going to come out of me coming forward at that time. You know, it just, he was too powerful, and it was too kind of, I suppose, because it's not like an attack in an alleyway or something, you know, it's like, okay, I was invited to his home, why did I go, you know, but it's because I wanted a relationship with him.
Of course.
But not a sexual romantic one. It was just like, this is Harvey Weinstein, he was an interesting guy, he was very successful, had done some amazing work, and you know, it was a connection I did want, but...
Is this gray area going to let Harvey Weinstein get away with all this? We're already looking at the victim shaming that one accuser in Italy is experiencing. This argument, these women, they wanted to be in this industry, but give me a break. 67 women coming forward, and still the Weinstein Company board saying this is utterly disgraceful. We had no idea. Give me a break.
Well, Stephanie, you make a very good point. And yes, even today, in 2017, there are a lot of people who want to involve themselves in victim shaming, victim blaming. And then at the same time, they say, why don't these women come forward sooner? Well, because they're concerned about victim shaming, victim blaming, even though they are not to blame. And, you know, this is what rich, powerful, famous men, whether they are in the entertainment industry, whether they are in business or sports or some other area of life, have to understand. They have no right to sexually harass women. They have no right to sexually abuse women. Women in the workplace are very vulnerable, and those powerful men often will take advantage of that vulnerability. But we're here to say that they are subject to the rules and boundaries that everyone else is subject to. And women have a right to be free of sexual harassment. It's a form of sex discrimination. And they're just trying to do their job and be judged on their merits. No, they don't want it. They don't want to run the gauntlet of sexual harassment. It's not a sexual playground in the workplace. It's a workplace.
Do women not know what the laws are that protect them? Because you know what? If I was in your position, if I was a production assistant, and if I was invited to go to Harvey Weinstein's home, I would definitely go. I would be excited for the opportunity. Mm-hmm. Do we not know what laws protect us?
Well, the answer is yes and no. Some women know, and some do not know. I mean, we're the leading women's rights law firm and have been for 42 years in the United States. And you know, we are very focused on sexual harassment in employment, and we've won hundreds of millions of dollars for women who have alleged that they were sexually harassed by other men. And so some women know their rights. Others are living in fear. They are living in fear that even if they know they have rights, that if they assert them, that they will lose their job or somehow be demoted or not be able to get another job. But they need to know, Stephanie,
or that they'll get dragged down with him, or that they'll get dragged down. If you're a production assistant, if you're barely paying rent, I'm not saying you were or you weren't, but when someone that has the kind of power that he does, you're afraid of everything you've ever said or done possibly getting dragged into it.
And fear is the weapon that keeps women down and denied their rights. But they have rights against retaliation. We won a case a number of years ago, a trial, where the jury did not find for us on sexual harassment, but did find in favor of us on retaliation, and there was a $16 million verdict for our client for retaliation. So there are protections, and they should know Any woman who believes she's sexually harassed in the workplace should consult with a lawyer. That'll be a confidential consultation. Usually plaintiffs' lawyers like myself and others do not charge for that. They can find out what their rights are, their choices are. Then they can decide, do they want to exercise any legal option or not. But there are a lot of confidential settlements out there. We've done thousands, and no one needs to know except the parties and their attorneys that there was a settlement, and that's even before and without any lawsuit ever being filed.
Do you believe people who worked for Harvey Weinstein knew?
No, I don't think they knew the extent of it. I mean, but I can't say. I mean, I have no idea.
Then
but
if you spoke to him now,
I wouldn't think.
If Harvey Weinstein said, "I want the chance to apologize to you," would you give him that opportunity?
Yes,
you would.
I would appreciate an apology, yes.
May I say that also, you know, in the 12-step program, Stephanie, more than an apology is needed. An acknowledgement of what a person has done. The wrong that they have done to the person whom they have victimized must be made exactly to the victim that they have victimized. And then they can apologize. And then they should make amends and do whatever is necessary. In this case, I'm very focused on justice for victims, and that's going to take more than mere words. It's going to take compensation for potential therapy needs, any physical assault that they may have suffered, medical, lost wages, and so forth. So this is what we're looking for, a full apology in deeds, not just words.
In addition to just apologizing in case you'd been offended, doesn't one have to acknowledge what they did? And to this point, Harvey Weinstein's representation says they continued to deny any non-consensual sex. And in your case, you believe it was non-consensual.
Oh, it was definitely non-consensual. I mean, there's no way that what happened to me was something I wanted. I don't know if you saw if you read the statement, but yeah, there's no way that that was consensual. And yeah, he's obviously, I don't know what goes on in his mind, but he's obviously not well.
And so I'm glad he's getting help, but I'm focused on getting the victims help too. And by the way, not for Mimi, but there will be another lawsuit coming in the future from our firm, and we'll talk in reference to Mr. Weinstein. But right now, he's got the opportunity to do the right thing, and let's see if he does it and doesn't hide behind lawyers or any other legal defense.
Thank you so much. And again, I'm so sorry for what happened to you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.